Hi everyone and good morning. I'm filming this video on my Saturday morning, having a nice little lazy, quiet Saturday morning to myself. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Stephanie from Lumeria Star. And today what we're gonna do, I wanted to film a video that is kind of reviewing and reflecting on the decks I worked with in November of 2022. We're now in the beginning of December, so I can kind of reflect back on what we worked with, or what I worked with rather. So let's just get started. Let's get right into the deck. So I worked with 2, 4, 6, 8 decks for the month of November, and I realized upon my reflection that my decks in November could have also been like a perfect pairings video, and it kind of is, and I'll show you why. So basically I have 4 sets of decks that I feel like perfectly paired with each other really well, and these decks have kind of found like a match. They just really kind of communicate well together. So yeah, it was just really fun to work with these sets of decks this month. So the first pair I have is the Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot of the Monsters, Macabre, and Autumn Scenes. So we have this deck right here, and then I paired this one. Let me get this out of the bag. This is the Memento Mori deck. This is by Claire Goodchild. So this is the original Memento Mori deck, and then I added in just the one general expansion. So these decks together, I feel like love working with each other. They're both dark, they're both macabre. I love the balance here. Like, I feel like the Madame Lydia Tarot is kind of busy with its collage work. It's a lot of different colors. It's kind of saturated. And then over here with the Memento Mori, we have a lot of this like negative white space, or, you know, for here it's not white, it's more like a parchment paper or aged paper. But I feel like they just go so nicely together. And not only do they go well together aesthetically, but their messages were always so on point with each other. And I feel like these two have just kind of found their match. Not to say that they can't play with other decks, because they absolutely can, but the two of these together, they're just polarizing together. They're very magnetic. They love to pair with each other. So why would I break that up, right? So I love pairing decks together. It's rare that I'll just use like one deck for a reading. I usually like to pair at least 2, mainly because I feel like it gives a nice visual interest. And to me, a lot of tarot in my own practice is the visual storytelling aspect. But also I feel like different decks come together with different energies. So it just kind of like is able to add some depth to the reading. It's able to layer on different, whether it's symbology, imagery. I think multiple decks with multiple energies just lend itself to a much more deeply layered reading. So these two are just beautiful together. They're dark, they're spooky, a bit witchy. Perfect for my November vibes, because for me, November, I'm not one who fast forwards to like Yule and the Christmas season. I'm still full out dark autumn spooky season. So this is a really great transitional deck for me for November. So these were a delight. So that was my first pairing in November, and that was a huge win. So that is the Memento Mori Oracle deck with expansion, and it's also considered a Lenormand, which I don't I don't use it as a Lenormand. I've realized I don't know. I don't really care for Lenormand, and I don't know if it's I've just not given it enough of a chance, but not to say I never won't, but like it's just not something that like excites me. So I really just use this deck as a Oracle and not a Lenormand. And then I have my Madame Lydia Tarot, which goes in this bag. So these two were such a win. Really enjoyed working with these for December, or I'm sorry, for November. Okay, so the next pairing I have, these are actually two decks that were gifted to me by Rockpool, and I'm so glad they did because they are totally my aesthetic and they totally work really well together. So we have the Tarot of the Sorceress. It's a Witch's Wheel of the Year tarot. And this deck is really interesting because it just kind of goes its own way. And, you know, I have a pretty large selection of tarot decks, so at this point it's like pretty nice to have a deck that kind of does its own thing because it makes it stand out from the others, right? It's not just like another tarot deck. So with these two, I feel like they really paired nicely together. And what I was doing was I was making the Wild Woman Oracle kind of like the center. And then I would take the Tarot of the Sorceress and just kind of split it in two. Like, I don't always make the Oracle a focal point, but sometimes I do. And I feel like with this deck, it just made sense. And I just feel like they pair really beautifully together. I think the artwork is gorgeous together. Again, these are both super witchy. And I feel like these are both slow decks. And what I mean by that is these aren't two decks that you would pull out and just kind of like bang out quick readings, right? Like for me, I do that a lot because I do read like professionally. And for that, I need my Rider-Waite-Smith because that's a really quick, easy reader for me. These decks take time. Like I necessarily wouldn't be able to do a quick reading. Like I'd want to sit there, I'd want to sink into the imagery. And like this deck, the Wild Woman Oracle, this is by Cheyenne Zarate. I think that's how you pronounce it, her name. The artwork is so intricate. And I mean, honestly, so is Tarot of the Sorceress. It's so intricate and delicate. I feel like you just need to take time with this. And like the less cards, the better. Like I don't think I'd pull more than 3 cards just like this because there's so many little details in here that you can kind of sink into. And November for me, I really like to slow down. Like I actually was joking around. I was calling my November this year my Slowvember. I just wanted to, October for me was like crazy busy. So I really had this urge to slow down. And I think like I'm really trying to keep that going into December, which tends to be crazy with the holidays, with the hustle and bustle. And I'm just like not here for it this year. Like I just want to slow down, be introspective. And I feel like these two decks together are really, really great for that. I would pull 1 card of the Wild Woman. I would pull 2 cards from the Tarot of the Sorceress. And they would make for such great journal prompts for me. So these two are really, really wonderful together. I just love it. Look at this, Medusa with Sacred Rage, with the Hanged Man and 5 of Earth, which is the 5 of Pentacles. So these were really beautiful. I love these. Like, look at this Chariot card. It's so beautiful. Yeah, these two were such a win. I'm so glad these are in my collection now. So this is the Wild Woman Oracle and the Tarot of the Sorceress. And I apologize if you can hear like the wind. It is so windy out right now, and it's also raining. And I'm sitting, my desk right now is right by the window, so I can hear it. I don't know if it's coming across on camera. So if you hear it, I'm sorry. It's the weather. Okay, so these were also a win. Highly suggest this pair if you are interested in either of these. These, in my opinion, in my practice, really work well together. Okay, so let's take a sip of tea because it is a slow and lazy Saturday morning. Okay, so my next pairing, this is a really popular deck in the tarot community, Seasons of the Witch, and I paired it with the Tarot del Toro. So I love this deck as a standalone. You guys probably know if you follow me on Instagram. It's like one of my favorite Oracle decks. I also have the indie version, which a lot of people don't realize there is an indie version. So with this deck, paired with the Tarot del Toro, I was, again, making this one the focal point. And the Tarot del Toro, this is an Insight Editions deck. I've had this for quite a while. I really enjoy Guillermo del Toro's work. And I also think that this artwork by, who is this? Tomas Hijo? It is gorgeous. I think all of the artwork is carved out of wood, I believe. And this is a pip deck. So while the majors and the courts are very ornate, you'll see that the minors are very, very pippish, but I don't mind it. And I feel like I have to sneeze. Hold on one second. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so these decks also paired really, really well together. They really just kind of encompass that dark autumn energy. It's spooky, it's a bit macabre. You can see the pips are very pippish, but I feel like there was enough visual interest with the Seasons of the Witch Oracle that I really didn't mind it at all. And I've been working with this pair for a while. I would say a couple years, because I've had both of these decks since they came out, and I think they've been out for a couple years. So these two have been a pair for quite a while, and I really, really enjoy them. It's rare for me to say I like a pip deck, but I think these pips, like, I love the cup suit. It's so spooky and pretty. I just don't mind it with this deck, and I don't know why. And maybe it is like the wood carvings. It still has that visual interest that I'm looking for. But these are really lovely. So for those of you who may be interested in either of these decks, in my opinion, I think they read really well together. I'm so sad to see fall go. I know we're in December and I'm really trying to embrace Yule and winter, but fall is just magic for me. I know people say like Christmas is the happiest or most magical time of the year. For me it's fall. So I get very sad when I have to put these decks away, but I'm really trying hard to follow the wheel of the year. Like, nothing can last forever. Fall can't last forever. So I'm really trying to embrace Yule. I've already got my tree up, and I'm trying to, you know, make my house cozy and get some, you know, fall or winter scented candles. But this is just my jam. It really is. But sigh, everything passes. This too shall pass. So that is another one of my, what I'm considering my perfect pairings. So this is the Tarot del Toro tarot deck and my Seasons of the Witch deck. Really, really lovely combo. Let's put these back in the box, and then these are going to go into storage until next year. How sad, because I really don't work with these decks out of season. So sigh, you guys are going on vacation until next year. So really love this pair. Okay, so I have one more to go, and this one was really one of my favorite pairings. And I will say this one isn't quite as seasonal, so I will probably work with this throughout the year. So first we've got my Moon Void Tarot First Edition, which if you guys have been following me for a while, you know this is like my total OG deck. Love her so much. Probably a soul deck. And the Oracle of the Witch Oracle deck, which I am obsessed with. I'm just straight up obsessed with. So let's take a look at this deck together. So these two are so witchy and so gorgeous together. So this is another one I was placing as a focal point. First of all, look at the backs. And the gilding is red. So let's put this in the middle. And then my Moon Void was perfect to complement the main energy of the Oracle. And also the black, white, and red aesthetic. Like, oh my goodness, so good. So let's just kind of split these up. Yeah. So these were gorgeous together. There's something about this combination where the messages were coming in so strong for me. They felt so witchy. They felt so feminist. They felt so empowering. And together, these two were very much like a truth teller. And it wasn't always gentle. It was kind of like, yeah, bitch, this is the message for you. I love you, but like, here's your message. And I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't mad about it at all. Like, these decks gave me the exact message I needed. I didn't feel attacked. It was just like, when this deck gave a message to me, I feel like she was like, I said what I said. And you're just like, okay, yeah, I respect that. And yeah, this combo, man, so good. And you all know, or maybe you don't know, but I am such a fan of the Moon Void Tarot. I also have her 3rd edition, which I'm also obsessed with. This is my OG, one of my first decks, and I love her so much. I love Stephanie Capone's artwork. And then this Witches, what is it? Oracle of the Witches deck. This is artwork by Mira Nordianti, and I'm also loving her artwork. It is spooky and macabre and dark and witchy. Do you guys hear that wind? I don't know if you can hear it, but it is a blowing outside. So yeah, these decks were so fun, and it was just really nice to see, like, because the Moon Void Tarot has pops of red in the black and white deck, so it just really played on each other. Really loved it. So this one doesn't feel as seasonal to me, so I'm not going to pack these away. I'll probably use these throughout the year. But I feel like I really discovered a serious pairing. I think these two really love working together. I don't know if they're mutually, like, I don't know if they're exclusive. I know Moon Void loves to play with other decks. She's very versatile like that. But I feel like the Oracle of the Witch, I don't know. I'd have to see if she wants to play with anyone else. But these two are absolutely stunning together. Look at all these reds. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it, I love it. And this artwork is just haunting. I also love this Wheel of Fortune card in this coffee cup. That's like one of my favorite Wheel of Fortunes. I've realized this is a sidebar tangent. So in 2023, it's going to be my Wheel of the Fortune year. Like, this year was my Hermit year. And I wanted to make an altar with the wheel being like the center focus on my altar. And I realized there's so many Wheel of Fortune cards that I don't like. And I'm like, are there any decks I even like the Wheel of Fortune? And I thought of this one. I love this modern take of the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like it's a card that a lot of artists kind of just like maybe don't know what to do with. I don't know. I don't know why there's so many cards that I don't like. So right now I'm on the hunt for one of my favorite Wheel of Fortune cards because I want that to be on my altar in the beginning of 2023. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, these decks are just gorgeous and witchy, It's a truth teller. She kind of tells it like it is, but like mad respect to her. Like you can't even get mad. You can't even get mad at her. So yeah, these are two beautiful decks. I mean, the Moon Void will always be a fan favorite of mine. And she's an all year round kind of deck. And I think the Oracle of the Witch, which is new to my collection, I also think this is going to be an all year round deck. So I'm excited to continue working with her, probably through winter, I would say. So yeah, guys, this is my November decks, collections, and reflections. I'd love to hear what you all think. Are any of these decks decks that you work with on your wish list? Love it, hate it? Tell me all the things. Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, you know, please give my video a like and feel free to subscribe. I'm still a pretty new channel on YouTube. I started my channel last year. Have just about 1,000 followers. So yeah, so happy you're here. And if you want to see more tarot content, you can also find me over on Instagram under the same name, Lumeria Star. So give me a follow over there as well. So I hope you guys all enjoy your weekend, whatever you're doing. This is my lazy Saturday morning. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.